So it just reminds me of like season 7 TSM when like we had the best team. We had a team that like more or less got along and was the best and still had a lot of potential to grow. And we were all like still extremely motivated at the end. And then I think, as everyone knows, it was a huge mistake to blow it up. I think I mean, we didn't blow it up, but like, could be a mistake. That's what I think. I think it's really easy to take things for granted when it didn't go super well at the very end, but like, basically you just don't appreciate what you have until it's gone.
Hey, Double, don't feel bad.
I'm pretty sure when something like this happens at the end, everyone feels like, oh, I could have done so many things differently, and we probably could have won one more game. Just I individually did something different. And then if you're like upper management stuff, you just feel like, oh, if we just had a different roster, if we had a little bit better roster, we could have definitely gone out of groups or done better, you know, like just improved our results. But I don't know. I feel like that's not really how it works. I mean, roster improvements are obviously really important. I've always been super vocal about kicking my shitty teammates when they're really bad. Um, it is very fucking obvious when I don't really want to play with somebody because I just think they're just not good enough to play with me. Period. But at this like last like 2 international tournaments, I didn't feel like anyone on my team was really shitting the bed. We could all just do a little better. So it just fucking sucks when something like this happens. Oh well, I guess only time will tell, you know? I think Jake was, and might still be, the best jungler domestically. It's a shame to let him go. I have been itching to play League. Like, ever since Worlds. So Worlds happened, I was fucking depressed, obviously. I'm so fucking depressed. And I just didn't want anything to do with League. I didn't even want to watch Worlds. I actually watched the World Finals, that's about it. Hell's right, thanks to 33 months. And I was watching the finals, and it kind of like reignited my spark a bit because I feel like that guy who won LWX, like I really hope this doesn't like make its way back to China or something. But well, actually, I am literally streaming on Huya. I'm doing like a dual stream, so it's definitely gonna make its way back. I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna say it. I think I'm better than that guy. I think, truthfully, I think Perkz is better than LWX. I think Perkz was probably the best AD carry in the whole tournament. He's the best like bot lane player in the whole tournament, and I was really really close to Perkz. This guy, I fucking, if you guys watch what I did to him in practice, it was just disgusting. Like I can't imagine what Perkz was doing to him in scrims too, because like it was just not fair. And then watching him win worlds, I'm just thinking, oh my god, dude, like if this guy win worlds, like I can definitely do it. Like I don't think I'm like in any way worse. Like mechanically, I think my champion pool is just as good, maybe better than LWX. Like is I don't know, just everything about it. Like I don't really know too much about him, right? Like I can only watch his play, but it wasn't special. Like to me, his play was not special. It was just top side of the map, 3v5. That's all. Drama. Mm, I think Sneaky's good, and he had a bad year. I think he might have too much pride to admit that, but he had a bad year. That doesn't mean he's bad. That doesn't mean he's washed up. Doesn't mean anything. It just means you can just have a bad experience for a short period of time. He's been good for like 7 years in a row, pretty much. So I don't think it's a big deal that he didn't have his best year in season 9, but like I think it's crazy that the way they're treating him is it just like feels bad. I think Sneaky's always played a ton of solo queue. He's always been pretty dedicated. I think the meme is that he's just fucking around and streaming and just not trying at all. But like he plays more solo queue than me. He's still good. He's obviously got a lot of upsides. I don't know, like I just think it's weird the way they're treating him, the way C9 is treating him. It just feels bad, right? Like I think when that shit happens to someone that like the community loves, um, it just makes a bad taste in everyone's mouth for Cloud9. It's like, yeah, you had a bad year, so now you're gonna like fight for your spot, and we're just like don't want to play with you anymore. That seems kind of shitty, right? Like I think you can see it like two different ways. The one way is, wow, everyone should always fight for their spot. Competition is the best. Johnson, what's up? Welcome back. Um, and like, it's just healthy competition. The other way to think about it is like, how are they delivering this information to him? Like, it doesn't seem like they're actually supporting him for like giving him sort of any sort of like respect for sticking by Cloud9 all this time and carrying the brand. Like they don't actually give a fuck. It seems like the way they told them was just like, yeah, you sucked ass this year. Like you're gonna fight for your spot. Obviously, like I'm reading into it pretty hard, but like you can definitely see the way that he feels about it in his clips, and it seems like the way that they approached him about it is just not respectful. If Team Liquid came to me and was like, hey, like you didn't play amazing last year, like you still have a lot of room to improve, I'd be like, yeah, I do. I mean, I think personally I played pretty well this whole year, but if they came to me and said like, we thought you played fine, but you didn't play your best, and you could be more motivated, and you could play more solo queue, so we're gonna have you compete for your spot with another AD carry, I would say, oh okay, everything you said makes sense. I'm not offended. But I think they probably didn't say things like that to Sneaky. They probably said like your teammates don't want to play with you. If you want to play on this team, you have to earn your spot. Like you didn't deserve it. Like you don't you like nothing that you did in the last like 7 years actually mattered. That's kind of how it felt. So I don't know. I think it all depends on like the delivery, I guess. But obviously he feels a little burned, and that's shitty because he carried C9 for so long. Defending Sneaky? I mean, I meme him pretty hard, but like, let's be honest. Me, Sneaky, and Zven are the best AD carries in the region. Like, we just are. Um, you can make arguments like Stixay and Cody Sun, maybe Bang, but like, uh, we're the best, and we have a lot of respect for each other, and like, we each have our own strengths and weaknesses. But we've always been good. It's just boring as fuck to just always say that everyone's good. You know how absolutely brainless and just stupid it is if every pro player in the whole league just says, "Yeah, he's great," and then like the once in a while it's like, "That guy stinks." Like, dude, that's so boring. Like, LCS is an entertainment tool, right? Like, people don't watch LCS if it's boring. People watch LCS. People care about LCS. They care about streams and people and like the personalities and the conflict and the competition because it's entertaining. If you just keep saying shit like Sneaky's great, I love him, then it's just boring. But like, obviously we have a lot of respect for each other deep down. It's just we're not gonna say it all the time. Twit longer here. For the first time since Season 4, I won't be playing on LCS Team this split. I went through a lot of rough emotions recently. First it was shock. Is this for real? Disbelief. I can't believe these teams would pick up these players so much worse than me. Frustration. I don't think I can bear to watch LCS from the sidelines. This is BS. Sadness. Nobody wants me. I was very angry as well, both myself for not playing better last year and also at the teams who, in my humble opinion, are just making baffling decisions and signed random imports, washed up players who don't work hard and are just playing for a paycheck in NA. It's kind of disappointing as well that I had calls with a couple of teams who seemed very interested in acquiring me as a player and then were very unresponsive the next day, told me to wait as I sorted things out, and ended up sort of ghosting me. I was even willing to accept a pay cut, try out bootcamp, do anything to get my foot in the door. I thought I could expect a little bit given my history of success within NA at least, but then there was nothing. To be honest, I still think it's really crazy I couldn't find a team, but I need to accept that reality.
I still think I'm one of the best players. It bums me out to read that the mainstream opinion is that I'm good enough for NA, can't perform on the international stage, and there's a lot of people who are just being revisionist and claiming I never even played well domestically when I actually played so fucking good all of summer 2017 and all of 2018. I invite you to rewatch all those playoff series I played during that time frame and tell me I was a role player or got carried. Wait, what team was Pobelter on in summer 2017? Is that Immortals? I'm trying to remember. Must have been Immortals, right? By the way, I don't think I've hit my ceiling yet. I think you only start to fall off permanently when your motivation drive drops, and I'm just as motivated as the first day I played on the LCS stage and willing to put in 12 plus hours a day practicing. I think there's a misconception that veterans are a known quantity and rookies have boundless potential. As long as you're willing to put in the time and hard work as well as stay open-minded, there is no limit to growth in this game. I was really inspired by a documentary I recently watched on YouTube about the Dota team OGs run through TI 8/9, the version of Worlds. They had a player named Seb who was actually considered just retiring after not having much success for a long time. Didn't play competitively for a while, and suddenly he can just join and have excellent performances in back-to-back Worlds and win. If you think about League, there are players like Khan, who was actually playing for 3-4 years on LSPL teams without much fanfare. Now he's one of the best top laners in the world, right? I always thought there were two really big differences between me and the most other mid laners in NA. One, I'm always willing to sacrifice for my teammates. For example, on TL, I felt like I would always find a really good gank timings to just blow up top or bot lane, even if I had to sacrifice a little bit. Yet, the feeling I get is a lot of other mid laners in NA are so worried about falling behind 1v1, losing in CS, or losing lane, or really just taking any sort of risk, and I was always confident in being able to at least hold my own in lane no matter what I picked, instead of giving our counter pick to another lane to make the game easier for them. Very true. Very, very true. I will say Eugene as a teammate was absolutely incredible. So fucking good, man. I actually really like playing with Eugene. I thought he was really good. It's actually crazy that people think he's fucking bad or not even worth like an LCS spot. I think he's easily a top 3, top 4 mid laner in LCS. Like, you could say Jensen and Bjergsen are better than him individually, but I still think he has a lot of potential. And when I played with him, we made a great combo, me and Pope. He's so good. I seriously believe in this no matter what team I play for, strong or weak. Even in the very last game of our failed Gauntlet run, I let Viper play mid-Riven versus Aurelia because he was just so confident he would smash the game, and I YOLO played Karma vs Hooney's Gnar because the whole team was on board with it. I played maybe one game of Karma during the whole month of scrims leading up to Gauntlet, and I literally never played the matchup before. When you're getting smashed and the game seems impossible to win, you can do two things. AFK on your turret and play for KDA as your Nessus explodes, or as so to avoid being flamed by everyone. Or go for really crazy low percentage plays and maybe you look like a complete idiot and feed hard. But at least you tried instead of just passively bleeding out to death. I'm definitely a player that is in the latter category, and I strongly believe most players belong to the first. Also true. Eugene definitely wanted to do shit instead of just... Though I would say when you're behind, YOLOing is not the right term. Like, I understand he's like saying this to the massive amount of fans, but like, saying that you're YOLOing, it just means like, I hope this works. It's more like, it might work if he makes a mistake, and I have to go for it. I've kind of thought it out in my head. If he plays perfectly, I play perfectly, then we lose, but it's possible that he messes up, and then I can win. So yeah, maybe that could have been worded differently, but I agree that bleeding out and playing for KDA is probably stupid. Maybe this all just sounds like some sort of excuse. I don't know what it is, but I just want to get my thoughts out. It feels good to write out things I've been holding in for a while. Hopefully it's not just a word vomit, not kind of a word vomit. I'm not proofreading any of it. I think deep down I've always been afraid of getting even more and more negative criticism if I posted something like this, and in a way I've always been afraid to defend myself because it feels like I'm deflecting blame. I've seen a lot of players over the years really have a tough time when they're made to be the scapegoat or weak link of a team's failure, and I never want to say anything that made it seem like I was deflecting blame onto any of my teammates who were really just trying their best too. Yeah, that does feel really shitty. I feel fucking bad for Eugene. Anyway, I'm always willing to own up when I play poorly. I think I played great all of 2018 LCS. Agreed. I think you did too. I think I played like shit at MSI. Yeah. Especially there's this one game versus Evos where if I really just played like a human, we at least would have gotten out of groups, but we did not, and I'm sorry for that. In my defense, our team atmosphere was so bad that we had to sub Enjoy for a game because Ole was so mentally broken. I was just so super tilted the whole event as well because the team environment was so negative and stressful. Still, I should have played better. I learned a lot from that tournament that I need to be so much mentally stronger. I think I played okay at Rift Rivals, but honestly, I don't remember too well. 2019 Worlds, I actually somewhat remember every game. He means 2018 for sure. Honestly, our team environment was not the best again. I remember we had one particularly bad scrim day where we just openly talked about our problems. We're trying to openly talk about our problems, but it felt like we were just flaming each other until 3 or 4 a.m. I made a sacrifice TP play bot. We should have killed Kindred, but there was some misexecution. In the heat of the moment, it felt like if everything went perfectly with that TP play, our bot could smash open the game. Maybe looking back on it, it wasn't a great play. It ended up sending me really far behind, wasting my flash. Luckily, somehow survived a gank that I should have died to. Ended up getting solo killed like a noob later and was just down 2 levels the whole game. Overall, I played bad. KT LeBlanc game. I remember using W and dying like a noob over Wraith Pit. Then there was a situation over the dragon where I think I should have gotten 1 or 2 more kills. Can't remember the rest of the game. Overall, I played bad. Looking back on this set, I think my knowledge of mid matchups was just lacking at the time. I had Ride vs Syndra, which was a pretty tough matchup, and opted into LeBlanc versus Sandra the second game. Overall, KT was a really strong team. I think I got outperformed individually, but we were honestly just worse as a team. They almost beat IG at this tournament, who won Worlds. We got spanked individually and as a team. EG Galio game. Did all I could do as a Galio. EDG Cinder game. Never had a critical time. Still did my job in press start. Really good times. Played team fights properly. We played versus Elma's team. Can't only remember one of them. I was playing Cinder versus Cass. I was just up 40 CS ramming into his turret the whole game, getting annoyed we couldn't snowball the game harder with that much mid-prio. I think I played well in 2019 spring. A lot of our wins was from me hard carrying on Lysandra or Zoe. In playoffs, we eked out versus UGS and then just got hard smashed as a team by TL. Right, I remember actually. We played FlyQuest. I think I played like shit for the first half of Summer Split. Then I started to play just fine. Then I was back to smashing everyone towards the end of our Gauntlet bootcamp. I was really confident we were going to win Gauntlet easily and that I was going to carry hard, but it didn't just pan out that way on game day. Anyway, I guess my conclusion on all this is that it's not the end because I played badly for one split. It's not the end because I didn't play well at a tournament. It's not even the end that I have a bad year, a bad couple of years. Seriously, maybe you read this whole post and think I'm a shit player, but to me, it will only be the end if I give up because of those failures. But from every failure, there is sincerely a chance to self-reflect, learning to grow. I never once got the feeling when playing on stage or in scrims, this player or this team is just on another level that I can never attain. Until I feel that way, I refuse to give up. Right now, I'm working on my future plans. I think I'll be closely involved with the competitive scene. And will be open to trying out for any team that might want me for Summer Split, or before then too, I guess. If you heard this all the way to the end, I appreciate it. There's still a lot more I want to say, but I've been writing this for a couple hours now, and I think I've covered most of what I wanted to say anyways. Thanks for reading. That took a couple hours? Come on, dude. Pobelter, you're spending a couple hours? This was like 8 paragraphs.